Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make something so bomb. It's my mint chocolate ice cream bomb. It is so good. We're going to make a delicious chocolate jelly roll that's going to be like the outside, and we're going to layer ice creams inside, and it's going to be show-stopping and delicious. And if you love the combo of mint and chocolate like my husband Joe does, then this is going to be for you. Really easy. It looks really complicated, but it isn't. Let me run you through the list of ingredients because it really is that simple. You need flour, cocoa powder, baking powder, salt, and a little pinch of instant coffee, granulated sugar, eggs that I've separated, milk, and some vanilla extract. This is going to be to make the sponge for the jelly roll, and then you just need a few additional ingredients to pull the whole thing together. It is so amazing. You're gonna love it. So I'm gonna use my handheld electric whisk, but I'm going to work on my egg whites first so that I can then not have to worry about washing it, that I can use the beaters to mix the other stuff together. But I want clean beaters to beat my egg whites until they're light and fluffy and develop soft to stiff peaks. I'll show you what it looks like when it's there. All right, those look great. I'm gonna just set these aside. A little swiperoo, and I'm going to just put my egg yolks in with the sugar. I'm also going to add a drizzle of good vanilla extract, and I'm going to whisk these together until they're really nice and pale in color. It can take a couple of minutes, so just be patient. I'll show you what it looks like when we are there. See how thick and pale in color that is? That is what you're looking for. Now at this point, I'm going to add all of the dry ingredients, get them all out of there, along with the milk, and I am going to also add just a small bit of egg whites, just a tiny bit, not even a quarter of the egg whites, just a little bit to kind of get this mixture to be nice and smooth. So once this is all incorporated, we're then going to fold in the egg whites. But I'm probably going to just fold in this mixture into the egg whites because I wasn't brilliant enough to switch the bowls in the beginning. So I used the bigger bowl for the egg whites. You get the drift. Doesn't matter. Mix this all up. All right, this looks lovely. I'm going to pour this in here. And then I'm just going to carefully fold it all together because I don't want to really deflate the egg whites. So you just want to carefully fold it all together. Looks like a mess, but it's gonna be delicious. Guarantee you that. Add the batter onto a baking sheet that's been lined with parchment paper and sprayed with some non-stick spray because I just want to make sure everything comes out nice and easily. And then you just take your spatula and just spread it around. This is going to look like there's not enough batter to cover the baking sheet, but there is. And remember, this is going to be a jelly roll, so you need to be able to roll it. So it's got to be quite thin to begin with. So just take your time. Have some patience. Oh, this is going to be so good. This is going to be so delicious and decadent, but also really show-stopping in the easiest way. Because you know me, I like to stay as far away as possible from anything really complicated, but this is easy, but it looks like you put a lot of effort into it. I always just tap it a couple times to even things out. I'm going to pop this into 375-degree oven. This is only going to be in there for about 12 to 14 minutes or until fully cooked through, and I will show you what we do pretty much the second it comes out. All right, so my jelly roll base here was in the oven for exactly 12 minutes. It's fully cooked through. I've let it sit here and cool for 5 minutes, and then what I've done is I've taken a large kitchen towel. Make sure it's lint-free. You don't want lint in your dessert. And you want to cover it with powdered sugar really, really well. You're going to make a mess on your counter, but hey. And then you just make sure to loosen up any bits on the side that have stuck to the pan. And now you're just going to plop this baby on there like so. Perfect. You're going to carefully take out the parchment paper and the little piece that's stuck there. And then you're going to start on this side with the towel included, and you're going to just roll this up. But it's got to be warm. It's got to be hot when you do this, so do not let your cake cool for any longer than 5 minutes. Otherwise, it will not hold. It will crack. I'm going to place it on a baking sheet, and then I'll place it right back here. And I'm going to just let this cool for like an hour or so. You want to leave it on here for half an hour and pop it in the fridge for another 15-20 minutes to let it cool completely. By all means, do you do. You do you. But I'm just going to let this cool until it's completely cooled. It should be a drinking game. Every time I say cool, somebody should take a sip of ice cold water, just a little spritz of lemon. And then once it's there, we'll carry on. All right, what I have here is some heavy cream that I whipped with nothing in it, no sugar, no vanilla, no nothing. I whipped it till I've developed stiff-ish peaks, and now what I've done, what I'm going to do, is I'm going to just unroll my sponge here. It cooled completely. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spread a thin layer of whipped cream in my little sponge. You don't want to overdo it because then what happens is it kind of just leaks out all over the place, but you just need a nice thin layer. And then you roll it back up without the towel, obviously. That's beautiful. And I'm going to place it back on the wire rack, and I'm going to pop this into the freezer for, I would say, about 15 minutes or so. And at the same time, I'm going to take my mint ice cream out because I want it to sort of soften a little bit so it's easier to work with. So I'm going to pop this in, take the mint ice cream out, and then we move on. So my jelly roll was in the freezer just for like 10 minutes. My mint chocolate chip ice cream is coming, it's sort of softening a bit because you want it to be, you want to be able to use it easily. And now what I'm doing is that I'm just cutting my jelly roll into slices. Try not to make them too thick, but also you don't want to make them too thin. You just want to kind of take it easy and be careful. And what I have here, which is important, is I have a 10-inch bowl that I have overlapped with some plastic wrap. And I also have a 6-inch bowl that I wrapped the outside with plastic wrap. So I want to make sense when we go ahead and build our ice cream bomb. But for now, I am just slicing my cake. And let me just tell you, it is taking everything in me not to take one of these slices and go downtown to Funky Town and eat it all. Because you and I both know I can do that. So remember, this layer is going to be the outside of the bomb. So you want it to look as pretty as possible. So just take your time and just outline the whole bowl and the bottom with your jelly roll. Once you have all of that, you're going to add your mint chocolate chip ice cream. Get it all out of there, and you kind of want to just spread it around like that, but I'm going to tell you what's going to help you, okay? The smaller 6-inch bowl. We make things easy around here, okay? Take help where we can. You take your bowl, and you just do one of these. Look. Okay, now that did a couple of things. It made the mint chocolate ice cream nice and even. And it's also making a little well in there, over there, for the chocolate ice cream, to go in there. Yes. Cover this baby up, pop it into the freezer for about an hour or so. You want that mint chocolate chip ice cream to be really, really cold. Oh, and a little bit of the green is going to kind of peek through. Pretty fabulous. All right. I'm going to pop this. I'm way too excited. Way too excited for this. Pop it into the freezer. I'll share with you the second step, third, fourth, whatever step we're on in a bit. All right, so this mixture was in the freezer for a couple of hours, and now what I'm doing is I'm just going to put chocolate ice cream in the center here and just flatten it out with the back of a spoon. This is what you want it to look like. Now at this point, you cover this baby up, and you're going to pop this back into the freezer for several hours. I'm just going to do it overnight because I want to ensure that the cake and everything is really, really well set and frozen, so that when I invert it and I cut into it, everything kind of stays intact. And I'm going to show you what it looks like when it is done and ready to serve. So my bomb was in the freezer overnight, and you can see what I'm doing right now. I'm just cutting off sort of like the very edge, which is going to be the very bottom, so that it's nice and flat with the ice cream, so it kind of sits better on the plate and it sits nice and even. So I just kind of cut those little pieces. Don't get rid of them. These are a cook's treat, of course. So set these aside, and you want to let this sit out for a few minutes before you before you cut into it, preferably like 5 minutes or so. And then you just take a big platter or anything that's kind of like, that has a little bit of an sort of an edge on it to catch any of the ice cream if it starts melting. I don't have any long nails, so I'm just going to use my knife to help me guide. If I can get this up, there we go. And then you kind of just pull on the plastic and it'll start releasing. Look at that. Is that cool or is that cool? Now when I serve this at the table, which we are having people outside right now, I'm gonna just dust a little powdered sugar and a little cocoa around the base, like around here, and clean this up a little bit, and it's gonna be a thing of absolute beauty. I'm just gonna cut a little slice. Oh, that is so cool. Look at that. There's a little bit more ice cream, chocolate ice cream right in there that I got stuck. But have no fear, because Mama is here and Mama will get it. You just have to love that combination. Chocolate and mint plus cake. It's good in my book. All of it combined, sorry, it's really cold. So good. Easy. Sorry. Easy, impressive, delicious, and a classic combination that no one dislikes, at least not around here anyway. I'm gonna put some pretty powdered sugar and cocoa powder. I'm gonna serve it up. I hope you enjoy spending time with me. The recipe is on the website, of course, at www.laureninthekitchen.com. Until next time. Bye.